Hey guys, Chris again Project Nerf. Today we're going to take a look at a commission that we did for Paul Kousky over at PDK Films. Let's do it. Alright, so you guys saw these being unboxed a while ago in kind of like a fan mail package unboxing video. Paul sent them to me. So let's take a look at them really quickly. Okay, first we have a Dominator. All of these were painted up by Ed and Anchor Arts. All the cosmetic work, you can see he kind of added a stock on the back of it. They really gave it this sweet sci-fi look. I really like it. And I've got a little video of what it was doing and what it is doing now. None of this is meant to be a build guide. It's just, little tips and tricks that I filmed along the way if you guys want to take a look. All right, so getting ready to start this commission for Paul. We've got this, Dominator here. Oh, sorry, no, you can't see it well. That Ed painted up. So we're going to do a pre-mod chrono test here because, well, it's a Dominator and I don't expect a whole lot, but I need a baseline. So here we go. For the love of heaven. Yeah, apparently this one needs all the help it can get. And these are good elite darts. Well, let me rephrase myself. That's an oxymoron in itself. These elite darts are in good condition. It's not like I'm shooting really crummy darts out of this thing. Oh gosh, this thing is horrible. Wow. Yeah, let's take a look here. I don't even want to know. Holy crud. Alright, we got 10 reads of the 12. We had a high of 51. I think it was our first shot. A low of 22. And an average of 35. I think we can probably improve on that just a little bit. Anyway, let's get at it. Alright, so we've got a Dominator on the bench here. This was painted up by Ed at Anchor Arts, and it looks amazing. But we put this thing on the chrono, and it got like a whopping 35 average, which I suspect I probably know what's going on here. As the whole blaster has been painted, you can see chances are we got some paint on the seal, and it's not making a good seal against the back of the cylinder here. But we're going to take this thing apart and upgrade the spring in it anyway. So, I guess we'll start by taking the priming handle off. Good little container for our screws here, and go Haas. I'm going to save you guys the agony of me taking the 1,000 screws out of this thing, and we'll see if we can get it open and get it working properly again. Okay, after a little extra work to get the accessory stock that Ed put on here off, and was a little glue on this front muzzle that he put on there. Got that taken care of, got it apart, didn't damage anything. So we're in good shape there. So what we have to do to get the plunger rod out is take this cage here under my finger out, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws in that. So, oops, helps if you get a Phillips head screwdriver. And I'm wondering, take this big old screw here off. Alright, so we've got the cap of the plunger out of there. Now there's some variety of lock right there. Come here. Okay, so spring's out. Like I said, a little finagling. We'll have to put this thing back in. That's no problem there. We didn't lose any of our lock springs or anything like that. So all that should be kosher. The priming rod, guys, is directional. So if you look at it, the See how deep that is right there? You want the fins here closer to the top, is because that's what catches on this as it primes back. Right, so that's what holds it in place. So, alright, so the stock spring, and I was just fiddling around in my spring bin, and you can see there I've got this this one, which you can see is a much heavier wire. It's a definitely a chunkier spring, but I don't think it's so chunky that this is going to cause a problem. So we're going to hopefully put it back together with this. I mean, it's virtually the same length. Alright, so that went around there just fine. It's going to be up. So, you see here there's a tab and a tab on the other side. So we're going to take my little screwdriver and just very gingerly go at it. You have to be super careful with these guys because you'll break them. Here. Yep, there we go. Alright, so what I did is I loosened the tabs, put a screwdriver into the back side of it, right through the middle of the hole, and just punched this this AR out. Okay, and then there's a little tiny hole that lines up there on the bottom, but it's kind of a flat edge, so it's not that big a deal there. And then if you're worried, you know, if you cracked your tab or something like that, it's no big deal. Put a little dab of super glue on it. It'll hold forever. Right, we finished the spring upgrading this thing. We took the AR out. Hopefully, we got a little bit of an improvement here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now let's take a look here. We had 12 reads, high of 76, low of 60, and an average of 69 giggity FPS. So yeah, that is what is that, guys? That's like a 34 FPS increase over what we originally chronoed. I'm pleased with that, and that's exactly where we're going to leave this one. Our second one, of course, is our Stampede that we converted to short darts. And this one actually took a while. It took quite a bit of tweaking and adjusting things to get it running and cycling the way I want. But I've got it running really nicely now, and I think Paul is really going to like it. I hope so. He's not a Stampede guy, so, you know, get with me here, guys. Love to vindicate the Stampede for Paul so that he can say, hey, yo, this thing is awesome. So, yeah, Stampede. Alright, so we got Paul's stamp out here. Got it running on a 2S at the moment. I elected to use a little bit lighter spring than the 9K that came with the kit in the interest of durability. Paul's stuff has got to hold up really well. It takes a beating when he's out filming, so I'm not sure where we're going to come into the chrono numbers I'd like to see. Hopefully around 100 would be good. So, anyway, let's see what we get here. Solid. A little erratic. Well, we did 8, high of 142, low of 104. On our average of 122, I am perfectly happy with that for this blaster and the application that it's going to. And then the last of which, of course, is an Infamous. And we upgraded this one. Cage, motors, wheels, upgraded the pusher motor, split the circuit so we can save all of the stock features, so the loading port still works, the LED indicator and all that stuff still works in it. So, yeah, anyway. Alright, quick little pro tip here. The Infamous is a tough blaster to reinsert a magazine in because it's got the 2 switches right here with these large plastic pushers. The lower switch only has 2 wires on it, so if you cut those off of the switch and solder them up here, and we're going to put a piece of heat shrink over the end. Hopefully that shows where I did that. Anyway, but I've soldered those up, so we're going to remove one of them, which will make it easier to insert a new magazine. And in this second one, we're going to remove the plastic piece and actually take a coil or 2 off the spring to weaken it up, so it makes life a little easier. Alright. Little fun fact about the Infinite that some people don't know. Here's the cage. I cut the wires on that. A strife cage will actually fit in the Infinite, okay? The front two bosses and this lower one, okay, here, here, and there, all line up. Now, this top one does not. So, what I don't want to do is just take the blaster and remove that upper post, which is right here, up against the auto-loading mechanism. If you take that boss out, you can put an aftermarket strife cage in it, which in this case we're gonna slap a worker 43.5 millimeter canted cage in there, just to see how that performs. Okay, so if you're going to do a motor swap, which I've already done on this one and resoldered it up, just wanted to show you guys, the pusher mechanism in an Infinite is not like a Rapid Strike. It's not screwed in. It sits underneath the feeding mechanism and underneath this door here. So there's a screw there and this screw here. You got to loosen those up a little bit. Okay, and it just slots. There's big bosses on there, corresponding with bosses in the shell. So, all right, to get it back in, we're going to push down on the white lock and hold it still, because it slides inside there. And you're just going to kind of finagle it in place a little bit. It doesn't really take that much effort. Kind of put that under there. Just a little teasing, a little messing around here, and we'll have it. There we go. And it just drops right in. Then you can let that go, and so that part's good. And then our feeding mechanism sits right on top of the same two bosses. So again, little finagling, little messing around to get this guy to tease back down in there. Almost there, almost home. And there we go. But yeah, that's how you do the pusher mechanism on an Infinite. Like I said, loosen this screw and this screw. I wouldn't advise taking this whole cover off. There's the little catch doors for the feeding ramper inside there. They're kind of plastic spring-loaded. They're kind of a pain in the rump. So just take this one out, loosen this one up, and just kind of finagle everything out of there. It just lifts out, and it's not too difficult. So anyway, we've got this pusher assembly taken care of. So, and I've got the cage set up. So move on to the wiring, I guess. Alright, so I got one last tip for doing the Infinite here. A lot of people have asked me this one, so I figured I'd address it real quick. The buck, the step-down converter that we use to convert our LiPo power to nominal power for the board. So you can see here I've got the input wires wired up to my jumper box. It's hooked up to a LiPo. Right? We're going to, before wiring it in, very important. Let's see if I can do this in such a way that you guys can still see it. You're going to take a tiny little screwdriver like this, put your probes on, turn it on and set it. I normally set mine to 5.75-ish. As you can see, I've already got that set. So you turn this little brass screw right there. In this case, it would be counterclockwise to lower the voltage and clockwise to raise it. So go very slow, take your time with it, get it right, or you're risking burning out your board in your Infinite. So that's how I set my bucks up before I solder them in. Alright, as you can see, it's kind of a dreary day out here on the range. We've been playing between the raindrops here. Anyway, the Dominator, which you can see, hopefully I've got loaded up with a smattering of darts. I've got some Precise Pros in there, some AccuFakes, and some of the bamboo darts that actually came with the DZP Mark III. Let's see if we can hit anything with it. A little low. There we go. Yeah, I can hit 20. Let's go for that 40. Oh, we're a little light. Oh, I got it. There we go. AccuFakes. These are a really tight fit. They're either going to shoot very hard or not at all. Ooh, a little high there. Ooh, a little low there. And the last up, the Precise Pros. Let's see if we can slam fire them off. Yeah. yeah, it works. It's way better than when we got it. Let's move on. All right, so we've got the Infamous now. I got a 22 in here. Let's close the jam door so we can activate the blaster, just to show you guys that everything still works like it should. All right, let's do it. That's not bad. .22 just goes too fast. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with that. That's a nice rate of fire for an Infamous. Pretty accurate there, too. We didn't have any trouble reaching out there and tagging that 40-foot target. So, let's move on. All right, so we've got the Stampede out here. Now, I did a couple things. One, we've got the DZP Mark III magazine. I've loaded this up with Worker Gen 3s. It's just what I grabbed out of the bin. So, on this blaster, I saved the on-off switch functionality. So, right now, put that in there. Let's flip it on and see what we get. Bad dart. Oh, come on, 60. Yes. Sometimes there just aren't enough darts. I'm going to load this up one more time. We'll do a mag dump and see what we get. All right, load it back up. Let's do a mag dump and see what it does. Yeah, that's a respectable rate of fire out of a Stampede, I think, and that's running on a 2S. It can run on a 3. But to be perfectly candid, the way this system cycles and whatnot on a 3, it's a little hit and miss. Sometimes you get a really, really good crisp shot out of it, and sometimes it just kind of farts out the end of the barrel. I've optimized it for 2 to try to make it a little more reliable. Guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, throw us a like, throw us a comment. In the description box below, I will include links to our Facebook page, links to the shop, and of course our fan mail address if any of you guys want to send something in. Till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying have a blast.